Hey guys, let's take a look at a setup for actually a setup that actually played through back testing on the dashboard, guys, for the Aussie dollar. So we're going to go back. We're going to go back to February the 6th. All right. We had a signal three peak formation low, two previous day high. Now, typically, anytime I see a three, I'm always expecting this market to reverse somehow. And then when I look at the chart and I found out that it's a reset, now I'm really having to look and use my eyes, because usually we're looking for a reset in the market if we get at least three hits, right? We're looking for three breaks of the high, right? Before it actually reverses for us, right? But it's day three. I'm looking at the chart, and this day gave us a reset to the low. This was actually a reset, guys. It wasn't like a full blown peak low. It was a reset to the low. So oftentimes when I find out that we have resets, I'm counting this push on that day of the reset. Like, that counts, right? So we have a high here on the inside, right? So that's our first push, and then our second push here, which breaks that previous day high. And then our third push right here definitely breaks the previous day high for Wednesday, right? So now we have our 33 trade complete, right? One, two, three. 3 days in from this reset low. And we've had our three pushes. That's our 33 trade. So what's the next step? The next trade is the reversal. It's the three previous day high reversal trade. So that's why I'm saying, if you come to the indicator and you see something like this and it's 3 days in, three peak formation days in, always look at it, because if it's a reset and you can visibly see the three pushes that happen, the 33 trade is complete, then you most likely Friday is going to give you that opportunity to get in on this trade on the reversal. Okay. Sometimes, now here's another thing, it could happen where price, you just never know, price could come to the high and then fell, right? That's an opportunity too, okay, for us to see it to actually show three instead of two, right? And sometimes it can show four instead of three. So you just have to use your eyes, right? Because this indicator is specifically meant for the previous day high. It's not really set up for all these other extra variations. We did look into that, but the best way that we could do that is because we're looking at so many pairs, right? If this was specific to, let's say, gold or whatever, or just specific to the Aussie pound, then you could get the indicator to do that kind of stuff for the specific pair. But since we're looking at every pair, or at least have the opportunity to look at every pair that's available to trade, we have to go with something that makes more sense. And then the rest of it, you have to kind of like look at it. And this is really the exception when we have a reset. For regular market conditions, this works just fine. You're going to see it, and I'm pretty sure you have. Okay. But because it's a reset, that's why it's that way. Okay. So what do we do, guys? We're expecting a trend trade on day two, right? We already know, I shouldn't have erased it. So this is one, this is day two. We're expecting our trend trade. And usually when we see the resets, they usually play out really nicely, right? We love it when they do that. So I measured yesterday's high and low. Okay, we got the area here. The green area is my support throughout the week. Okay. Hold on. Sorry. Right here. As you can see, that's 50%. We got the support for the week. And then for the day, guys, I am looking at getting in, right? Now, this is a pair that I obviously am not awake for, but for the people that are able to trade this, you would use the previous day high and the low, because this is the high and the inside. As you can see clearly, we're inside the range. It hasn't reached any extremes as of yet. So we're expecting price to at least get up to this area here in this extreme, okay? So our entry is down here. Your first target is obviously the high, because that's what we wanted to do. Okay. It reached that high, it pulled back, and then you did have an opportunity to come back in and trade the, after the retracement, get in on that trade, right? That was another opportunity for that day. And that's it for that particular day. So the next day, we're looking for the same thing, right? Now we can see here, there was a slight opportunity because we're at the high now. Um, you know, for those of you who may have wanted to take a short trade, you have to be careful. Okay. You have to be careful here. I mean, yeah, we see there's sometimes where this plays out, but you have to watch the pattern. There's sometimes where you can see how this will play out nicely. You're going to have 3 hits to the high, and then you're going to have an opportunity to take a short trade, and then it takes a short trade to the low, and then it goes, you know, back up. Sometimes we see price do that, right? So just giving you a warning, if you do take a short trade on any one of these things, you know, it's a scalp. You know, you're not trying to do anything, and you're trying to hold anything, okay? So you can take the high for the day. Again, this was the high for the inside, right? And you can use any one of these levels, right? Or you can use the low. I know this is going to be hard to do because the low right there, this wick, I'm trying to get it pretty close. This wick right here, guys, that's that low for the day or whatever that is. It's right at the open. You can measure from there, and then here's your area, 50% to get in the market. All right, and then your targets, obviously you have, you know, I like to use this area, and we also have the high of the week. That is the target. So when you take this trade and you sit back and look at it, guys, you can look at it and say, oh, okay, we've been in the market 1, 2, 3 days. We see 3 clear pushes. This 33 trade is done. The next day has to be a reversal. So the next day, that's when you see 3 days in. That's when you see that you're 3 days in, guys. Right? And these 2 breaks, as you can see clearly, you had 3 breaks because, you know, although this was inside, it still broke through out and closed back in. So I'm counting that. 1, 2, and then 3. Okay. Because it broke this high. So the next day is your reversal trade. Okay. The next day is the reversal, guys. And that's how you read this thing. So now you're like, okay, how do I get in? Right? As you can see clearly, it did not go back up here. And I think I just mentioned there's some times where it could go up there and give you a, you'll see the 3 previous day high break. Sometimes it can say 4, depending on a regular market maker cycle, but usually on the resets, you know, it may or may not give you that. Okay, so just FYI. All right. Now I'm measuring from this particular low here to the high, right? And that is where I am getting the entry. Again, this is for the early birds. All right. So that was a trade. Okay. So boom, 2 areas right here for us to take profits. Okay. Now this is a 1-hour chart, but you know, I just wanted to give you the big picture, and that's what it looks like. Okay. You obviously you're going to be going down and getting in on a 5-minute or 1 minute, whatever your preference is. But for looking at this as a bird's eye view, that's how you do it, right? You got to look at the big picture, see where you are in the market and market maker cycle before you start trading. Okay. All right, guys, I hope that made sense. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll see you in the next one.